Hello, Africa. I am Ignatius Annor, and welcome to the interview. You can certainly say that the world has literally changed forever. It follows the global coronavirus pandemic. People are beginning to adjust to what experts are calling the new normal. The new normal is typically an uncharted territory that has become standard or the usual. In our world today, this means the compulsory use of face masks in public places, social distancing, temperature checks, and other measures adapted to battle COVID-19. Africa has surpassed 100,000 cases and thankfully a very low death toll since the first case was reported on February the 14th. But what does this new normal mean post-lockdown for the African continent? Should tailor-made new normal be adopted? My guest is a social psychologist from Abuja in Nigeria, Dr. Mefor. Dr. Mefor, thank you for joining us, and I hope you're well and keeping safe.
Yeah, thank you, Annor. Good day, Africa.
So, what does this new normal mean for the African continent, and have the fundamentals been established for this post-lockdown?
Well, I think it means so much, though the African continent is not reacting to it in isolation because it's a global concern. But for Africa particularly, the challenges are obvious. Our health care system is not in the best shape. And though this provides an opportunity for the caregivers to really up their game, I don't see much of that around. And I take the Nigerian experience as an example. If Nigeria is so unprepared, I expect that much of the rest of the African continent may be experiencing the same level of challenges. And what I need to add here is that in any crisis is an opportunity to get a few things done. I believe that this is a wonderful opportunity for Africans to really look inwards and take care of themselves. The issue of social distancing, face masks, and so on and so forth will have to be with us for quite some time. The reason for that is obvious. We haven't found the vaccine, we haven't found a cure, and all the cures we have found so far, including the Madagascar cure, are all tentative. And to find something quite definitive and reliable, they take another 3 years.
So how should people process this, and what role can local governments play, bearing in mind exactly what you've said, that not much attention has been paid to infrastructure, especially with psychology really on the continent?
Well, it's sad that psychology has not received its primacy of place in Africa. And that has had a very telling effect on our organizational and societal life. Individuals, let me start with the individuals. The individuals must, take measures to be sure that their mental health is not challenged. Because what we call measure of resilience differs from individual to individual. Some individuals are not quite resilient, and they easily cave in under pressure. But when individuals also take steps, they can correct some of those anomalies, and they live a much healthier and a much normal life. And this is what I advise that individuals must do. Africans, we are very tough people, and we should be able to weather this storm and come out of it even stronger. At governmental level, they are receiving a greater challenge. The government across Africa, the nations of Africa, will have to really take some radical steps. They need to first and foremost do something about regional job loss. They have to make sure that the private sector is empowered with litmus, packages to enable them not to lay off workers, and they need to also stimulate agriculture. I am particular about agriculture.
Right. So, Dr. Mefor, what do you see to be the cost of this new normal on the well-being of Africans and local economies on the continent?
For me, I hold this presumably unpopular view that the global response, African response to the COVID-19 pandemic, it was exaggerated. And for me, I have reasons why I say so. If you look at it, we have lived with a number of viruses, and we cope with them. The HIV is there, Ebola is there, Lassa, and a number of others. And we haven't found a cure for them. More particularly, a virus, which the infested individuals recover over 90%. It's not a virus that warrants the world being shut down. It's my opinion. I may be wrong. So, with that in mind, you can see where I am coming from. I think that the total lockdown that so many countries have embarked upon are not quite advisable. Right. We need to open up the economy and observe the new normal, like you call it. Face mask, social distancing, and those who can work from home should be encouraged to work from home. Maximum hygiene and all that. We should be able to survive the virus until cure and the vaccine are really found. If we do not take time, by the time the COVID-19 pandemic blows over, we'll be facing hunger virus. And Africa, has not been up and doing when it comes to even facing the issues of self-reliance. We don't produce our food. We are a dependent continent, embarrassingly so. Finally, I would also say, for the individuals particularly, I believe that whether we like it or not, it's upon us, and inescapably so. What that means is that we must live to survive and live happily too. We don't just have to exist, we have to live.
That said, you know that tensions among families at home have soared during these very trying times, and I'm sure you will concur that the human race was created for bonds and connections. How do we continue to build these bonds under the new normal?
Every crisis has its own positive side. The pandemic forced people to lock down, and that provided very wonderful opportunity for families to really look inwards. And for children, for example, they get to know their parents more, and the parents can, in turn, have also been able to understand their children. And a lot of people have been making over their houses because they have the opportunity to do so, because they have been compelled to do so also. So bonding, but family bonding has been enhanced, whether we like it or not. The husbands and wives that have been fighting, they've been compelled by circumstances to make up or break up. So if they didn't make use of the opportunity, the unique opportunity provided by the pandemic, it is rather unfortunate. However, there has been one peculiar challenge. Many governments have not been able to rise to the challenges of palliatives to make the citizens be able to stay at home. Lockdown in Africa compared to lockdown in Europe is appalling. It's an appalling contradiction. I'll tell you what I mean. In Europe, people are paid to stay at home. In Africa, people got nothing to stay at home. And if you take the example of Nigeria, where 100 million are said to be living under poverty line, you will discover that government actually needs to take care of at least 100 million Nigerians to be able to say that it can lock down effectively. Government can't do that. It means that $1 a day is worth up to 100 million Nigerians survival. What does that tell you? If they survive on $1 a day, it means that they actually have to earn that $1 on daily basis. And you lock them up and you provided no palliatives. As such, what government in Nigeria did, was very minimal. It took the grace of individual well-to-do Nigerians and community-based organizations, church-based organizations to really intervene and take care of people. We have modern ways of communicating. So even if we can keep physical distance, it can be reconnected using ICT, WhatsApp, Facebook, text, and all that. So what we lost on the one hand, we gained from the other.
Right, Dr. Mefor, thank you for agreeing to talk with us on this platform.
My pleasure.
Dr. Mefor is a social psychologist based in Abuja in Nigeria. And that's it for the interview. I thank you for watching. I'm Ignatius Annor, and goodbye.